I am a teacher that teaches exclusively online. That's right, I work from home and I have done so for the past 4 years. Now, I am an ESL teacher primarily, but I also teach science and math, and the techniques I'm going to show you today will work for any type of classroom. The number one resource that I have as an online teacher is Google Slides. If you're a little bit intimidated using technology, I'm here to break it down step by step and show you some cool techniques that you can use to make your classes more interactive and fun for your students. So let's get started. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how you can use the animation features in Google Slides to make some more interactive puzzles, games, or phonics activities for your students to enjoy. Right now, it looks a little bit crazy, but check out what happens when I go to presentation mode. In this lesson, my students are learning about the silent W. Up here, I have some tools that have the rest of the word attached. With this first animation, we're going to plant our seed. Students will then read the word wrangle here. If they get the word correct, then their seed will successfully be planted in the flower pot. Next up, we need to water our new baby flower. So we're going to read the word wrestle, and we're going to water our flower. And it's going to grow a little bit bigger. Now let's make it even bigger by adding some fertilizer. This time we have the word wrinkle. We're going to pour that fertilizer into the pot, and it's going to grow a flower. Is this absolutely necessary? No, it's not. You can just list the words out and make your students read it. But this is a lot more fun for them. They're a lot more likely to remember it, and they're going to be more willing to participate in your lessons. And it's not as difficult as it might look. Let me show you another one here. Once again, looks a little bit crazy, but this time we're learning the bossy E. So in this one, I will first have the student read the short U sound, tub. Then our little girl here, she's going to swing and kick this letter E up, and it's going to fall next to the word tub. Now we have tube. Do it again. She's going to swing back, come forward, kick our E. We have a new word. One more time. Swing back, come up, kick the E. There we go. My students love these animations. It makes the lesson seem more professional. It's more fun, more interactive. I have one more example. We're going to use these puppies here to practice short A words. I'm going to put the puppy to sleep. We have cap. Next puppy, nap. Final puppy. And this is very easy to do. The very first step is to open up your Google Drive. Now, I recommend making a separate Google account for your teacher address so that you can keep all of your teaching materials separate from your personal life. Otherwise, you will run out of storage very quickly. From here, you're going to click New, and then you're going to click Google Slides. Once you have your Google Slides open, you're going to pick a theme. Now, you can do this any way that you want to. However you want to design your slide, go for it. I like to add a background. There are 2 different ways that you can do this. First, you can go up here, click on Slide, click on Change Background. Now, you can do a color, you can add your own picture, you can even just go to Google Image Search and type in cute pattern background. I don't do this very often, however, because watch what happens when I click on this orange. Check that out. This doesn't look exactly the same, does it? It's all stretched out because it made it fit the screen perfectly, and it just doesn't look very good. So instead, most of the time, I do this. So we're going to undo, and I'm just going to open up a new tab, and I'm going to type in cute pattern backgrounds. It is very important to find something that is seamless. You want each picture to blend into the next one. So I like this cute flower here, and that's what we're gonna go with. So I'm gonna copy the image, come over here, and I'm just going to paste it and move it over. Then I'm gonna paste another one and move it over. Voila, have a beautiful background that's not stretched out and ugly. Now, from here, you can go up here and click Insert. Then you're going to click on Shape and just pick a shape that you like. I love things that are cute, so I always go with this rounded square, which, fun fact, is actually called a squircle. Like, that is its official name, not something that I just made up. And we're going to center it here. Sometimes it's a little, there we go. Now, I like mine to be white. I want it to stand out. You can leave a border if you want to, or sometimes if I'm doing like a specific theme, you can actually change the border color, make it really big and puffy looking. And let's go with a green outline here. Mix it nice and pretty. If you like the way this looks, you can move on to the next step. Now, because I'm an ESL teacher, I'm going to stick with the theme of phonics. However, you can get creative with this and use it to make a number of different things. You can use it for the periodic table if you want elements to come up at different times, speech bubbles and things like that. You can tell a story. There's lots of different ways that you can use this. The first thing that we want to do is decide what pieces we're going to put together, right? So what I usually do is I theme it on the rest of the lesson. For example, this lesson with the girl on the swing, this is a lesson about verbs. They learn walk, jog, run, kick, skip, and this is unit 2 of the verbs unit. So they've already learned a couple of verbs. So that is the reason why I went with her swinging back and forth as the animation. You can see I have one here that is a bathtub. Also using the silent R. And that is because this lesson is about rooms in the home. Specifically, this student actually learned the word shower and bathtub, so it was appropriate to have a bathtub. Now, you do not have to do this. You can reuse the same animation every time if you want to. You can just make it something fun. I just personally like to try to include the vocabulary words that they're learning in the lesson because it just ties everything together really nicely, in my opinion. But it is totally optional. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cat and we're going to do some dress up with it. So the first thing I need to do is find a cute cat. And it can be a cartoon cat, it can be a real cat, but I want it to have a white background. So I'm going to type in PNG here. Now, I want a cat that has a white or a transparent background because it's going to lay on top of other pictures more easily. We're going to take this picture here, bring it over, and here is my lovely cat. Okay, so here's my cat. Now that I have my cat, I need to decide what I want my cat to represent. So I'm going to insert a text box right on top of the cat. And let's just we'll do AD words. Because the cat is very textured and it's difficult to see the letters on top of it, I'm going to instead free float my letters here in the center of the screen. Now, I want to find some decorations for the cat. So let's look for a tiara. Now, if you find an image that you really like and you want to use, but it is not transparent, you can go here to remove.bg, remove background, and then you can just copy. For example, let's say I wanted this tiara right here. If you take a look at this picture, you'll see that the background is white. What that means is if I come over here and I just paste it as it is, it will cover up my cat. I don't want that. I want it to look like it's sitting on top of my cat. So instead what I'll do is I'll copy it, come over here to remove background, and I'm going to paste it right here. And it's going to remove the background for me. And if it makes a mistake, you can hit edit and you can add or remove as needed. Then when I go back, now the background is transparent. I can put it on top of my cat, just like this. Scale it down to make it look nice. And voila, now my cat has a lovely hat. So I like the way this fits. We're gonna put this over here. Now I want a necklace for my cat. These diamonds are nice. We'll give our cat some diamonds. Once again, scale it down. Make sure it fits the cat the way you like. Beautiful. For the last one, we're going to take this ring here. And once again, we want to remove the background. Now, this one, we're gonna have to get creative because we want it to look like the cat is wearing it. We can't do that if it's a full circle. So we're going to crop it. We're just gonna click this little box right here and bring it up about halfway. About right there. Now, when we scale it down, it will look like it goes around the cat's foot instead. Just like that. Beautiful. Okay. Now that we have our 3 pictures here, we can start the animation process. Now, because the elements in this picture are a little bit small and they don't really have room for the letter to sit on top of them, we're going to do this one a little differently. I'm going to put all of my accessories over here in a line. And we're going to use the accessories more as a reward for reading the letter as opposed to completing an actual picture. So our first word is going to be dad. We're going to move dad over here. We're going to select animate. We want the letter D to appear on click. So fade in, on click. Now there's other animation options, but for this video only, fade in, on click. Then the student will read the word dad and they will get their first reward, which will be this crown. So add animation, but this time we want to fade out, on click, because we want the crown to disappear from the spot that it's at so that it can reappear where we want it. Now we're going to control copy, or you can just use your mouse and copy. Either one works. And we're going to move it over here to our cat's head. Then we're going to hit add animation. This time we want to fade in with previous. It not only looks more natural this way, but it saves you from clicking the mouse 100 times. Then we're going to make it the D fade out. We don't need it anymore. Now we're going to do our next letter. We're going to have the S come over. We're going to fade it in. The student will read it. And then we want this ring to fade out. Once again, Control C to copy, or you can just right click and copy. Bring it over onto the cat's foot here. We want this one to fade in with previous. Okay. Then we want the S to go away, fade out, on click. And we need one more letter, so I'm going to actually copy this S. And let's see, how about mad? And we're going to fade that in. Then we want the necklace to fade out. Once again, Control copy. Bring it where you want it. We have our beautiful cat here. Fade in with previous. And now we don't have to do anything else. Now, don't just trust yourself. It's really easy to get these all mixed up if you're distracted or if you have a bunch of elements that you're trying to animate. So you want to test it and make sure everything works the way you want it to. So you can practice it. You don't even have to go to the slideshow. You can hit play. And we're going to test it and see if it works. So right now our cat has nothing. D for dad. They did it right. So the cat gets a hat. Next letter, letter S. Student reads the word, bye-bye ring, onto the cat. Last one, M for mad. Student reads it correctly, they get rewarded with the necklace. And That's how you do it. You can do this with a lot of different things. I've put rings on fingers for a lesson that was about body parts. I've done kittens playing with balls of yarn. Get creative with it and just have fun. Your students are going to love it, and students that love your classes are a lot more likely to tell their friends about it so that you can gain more students. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Let me know if you give it a shot and what you decided to use it for. I'll see you next time. Bye.